Hey, good morning, everybody. My name is Mike Doucette. I am a product manager for the CNC and drilling centers as part of SCM Group North America. Coming to you live this morning from our North America headquarters in Duluth, Georgia. We're right outside of Atlanta. We have a little bit of a special project we're doing today. We're actually going to be celebrating the introduction of 2 new products into our CNC portfolio. This is going to be a little different than what we're typically used to in our products. You know, for anybody who's worked with SCM before, you know we take great pride in our Morbidelli and our RouteTech family CNC machines. Today we're actually celebrating the introduction of 2 machines that come from our colleagues out at a newly acquired company called Diversified Machine Systems. They're based out of Colorado Springs, Colorado, and they were acquired by SCM in 2018. We're going to be introducing 2 CNC products that are going to fit in quite nicely with our Morbidelli range, right around and underneath the $100,000 range. These 2 machines provide a very high level of quality and a very aggressive price, and we are thrilled after working on it the last few months to bring these products to you. So a little bit about us at SCM here and our presence in North America, just for those who maybe are just getting introduced to us. We've been in this location in Duluth, Georgia for several decades now, operating specifically for the woodworking industry, but also touching on some other industries as well. Our facility here in Duluth covers about 77,000 square feet of space, which includes about 20,000 square feet of showroom, which we'll call our technology center here, as well as about almost 30,000 square feet of office space. We host several small training rooms. We're actually in one of the larger training rooms right now, as well as a digital hub where we show off some of our digital technologies like our Maestro Connect IoT technologies. We also do in the United States have a secondary headquarters, which is based out of Carson, California. That's just outside of LA. They've got about 10,000 square feet of show space out there, as well as about, let me see, about 20,000 square foot in total, so about 10,000 square feet of office space as well. Throughout the year at both of our North American locations, we do offer a number of events. Of course, we've got the main showroom where we host open houses. We'll have technology training events. We'll also host training events for customers for software, technical service training in the showroom on several of our machines. All the time we're bringing our clients in for various demonstrations on the CNC and other technologies that SCM will host in the showroom. So today what we're doing is we are trying to celebrate this kind of interaction between SCM and our new partners at DMS. The 2 machines that we are going to offer, part of the Freedom Machine Tool line at DMS, have been under construction or been under production from DMS for quite some time now. But we're now bringing these machines into the fold at SCM. They're going to fit in very nicely with our existing products and will provide additional solutions to our customers who are working in the wood industry. So today what we're going to see is we're going to be hosting a number of pre-recorded videos. Unfortunately, because of the current situations in the United States and around the globe, we would have liked to have hosted an in-person event, especially to introduce our customers to the facilities out at DMS. But because of events, we're going to host this virtual event. And we've put together some videos that we think would help supplement our virtual experience here. We're going to be showing some clips of myself out at the machines, showing you some of the features that are going to be coming standard with these FMT machines. We're also going to host a virtual walkthrough by our partners at DMS who are kind enough to understand the situation and provide us with a really great tour of their facilities out in Colorado. You'll also come back at the end and you'll be with me again, and we're going to host a small kind of Q&A session where I'll talk about some of the features in depth. We'll talk about what these machines are going to do for our customers and how we're going to market them to you guys. We'll also have a little bit of a somewhat Q&A session where I'll answer some of the questions that we've received in the preceding months, and also kind of do a little bit of a live interaction as well. So what we'd like to do now is, for those customers who are new to SCM, we want to definitely present to you kind of our best face and what we're about in terms of our global presence. So at this time, what we're going to do is I'll turn it over, and we're going to show you a quick corporate video that was produced by our colleagues at our main headquarters, global headquarters in Rimini, Italy. So here it comes.
Wood is culture in the hands of Italian craftsmanship. Craftsmanship which has grown into a world of technology. Evolution which has led to the most advanced industrial systems and machinery. Designed and built by SCM, the leading brand in woodworking technology. SCM belongs to the industrial revolution in the wood industry. Over half a century of innovation, patents, a track record of challenges. Today, a leading industrial player focused on woodworking technologies with multiple production sites, implementing the latest in lean manufacturing to ensure quality control and considerable savings, both of time and cost. The broadest range of solutions worldwide, a tangible answer serving countless industries, from an infinite selection of joinery machines to highly specialized models and turnkey solutions, the most appropriate response to each customer's requirement. Over 1,000 engineers and technicians from leading schools and universities. Talents cultivated in SCM, empowering the next generation of technologies. At the heart of our business comes the customers, their ideas and their objectives. With the world's widest distribution network, SCM provides solutions faster and closer to market needs. Years of evolution have brought together the best industrial companies, specialized in all aspects of wood-based manufacturing. A synthesis of excellence, forging the strongest and most advanced woodworking technologies to make up our DNA. SCM is more. SCM is part of SCM Group, a solid global company and market leader for industrial machinery. From manufacturing equipment to systems processing the widest range of materials and for the production of technological components.
All right, guys, we hope you enjoyed that corporate video that's produced by our friends and colleagues at our headquarters in Rimini, Italy. Hopefully have some good information about us as a company and us as a global presence in the woodworking industry. Unfortunately, due to the coronavirus events and other events going on in the United States and around the globe, we were unable to host this event as we originally planned out at the DMS facility in Colorado. But instead, our friends have been gracious enough to produce a little intro video, a little live walkthrough video of their facilities out in Colorado. And so what we'd like to do now is cue up that video and let you guys meet our friends at DMS.
Good afternoon. I'm Patrick Bowler, founder and CTO of Diversified Machine Systems. We're going to be doing a virtual factory tour today. We are in Colorado Springs, Colorado. This is our 70,000 square foot manufacturing plant behind me. And if you look to the left, you're going to see an empty lot over there. It's about 3 acres of land that we're going to be building a primary fabrication plant over there. Okay, this is the front of our building for our virtual tour. So we walk inside here. We're not accepting any visitors right now due to the COVID stuff, so these are our warning signs. As we walk into the lobby here, we have one of our metal additive machines on display. This is a metal additive process. We call this the 2-cubed machine because it can machine a 2 foot by 2 foot by 2 foot piece and 3D print a 2 by 2 by 2 piece. All right, let's move into the factory. Reception is upstairs. So we walk in here, we're gonna start, there's a little safety center right here. Okay, we're gonna start off to the left of our factory here. This is where we populate all of our panels, our electrical panels. So the main electrical work is done here. So this is a typical panel right in front of you. Breakers, Fagor, Circos, everything like that in there. Okay. There's typically 3 people working in here full time. This room here we use to run some demos, and we also cut parts on these 2 machines for parts that go on our machines. So again, we made some machines to make machines. If you look in the back there, that's a pretty old. It's one of the original FMT models that we make. This one here is a DMS 3-axis machine. It's a heavy-duty model of the FMT line, but that's the lowest 3-axis machine we make in the DMS line. This is another one of those 2-cubed hybrid machines that we're looking at right here. That's metal additive. Okay. As you look down this bay, this is bay 1, primarily used for special projects and a production line we're actually setting up on the right-hand side here. It's actually going to be a moving production line to generate and produce these FMT lines. Off to the left here, this is a polymer additive machine. Pretty big one, might be even the biggest one you've ever seen. We just are doing a little test for a customer, but you can see that this is again hybrid because we can 3D print and then we can machine it afterwards with that 5-axis head that you're looking at. But you can scan a little closer in on the part right there. That's good right there. It was a test cut for a customer. It came out pretty good. We can actually, that whole part was 3D printed in less than an hour. We're popping out that material at about 100 pounds an hour. So we turn around here, you're going to see another. This was our original prototype hybrid machine for the 3D metal printing. You can see the part we made on the table with it. Really good for one-off castings and some production parts on here. So off to the right here, you're going to start to see some of our lines, our models. The FMT line is the most standard thing that we make. We have a 5x10 with 15 inches of Z. We have this 5x10 with 10 inches of Z right here. And we go down as small as this 4x4 machine right here. This is a 4x8 you're looking at right there. That's one of our new models. If you looked at the bridge size, I can tell that. So the new models have a little bit taller bridge on them. So we got a couple of last year's models left to get rid of. Off to the left here, this is another older model, 5x10, and this is our completed model of a 4x8. This one has a drill bank on it, 9-station drill bank, and a tool changer on there. Off to the right here, this is a machine we made for ourselves. This is a 5-axis metal cutting machine. That's a 60 horsepower spindle on that 5-axis head you're looking at right there. We used to make our columns, some of our bridges. Another heavy duty, we call this a plus. This is a 5x10 plus machine you're looking at right here. Here's our first DMS customer machine. That's the blue ones, or the DMS ones. This is a automatic shuttle table machine. So that door will go up and you can use the tables in tandem or you can use them individually. It's completely safe as that table is down. They'll be cutting inside while you change the part, completely safe on the outside, and the door will automatically go up and shuttle the tables in and out and come back down and keep cutting continuously. Over here, this is our bonding room, and behind that gate there, we stock all of our spindles, all of our amplifiers, controllers. There's always a couple $1 million worth of stuff back there. Little storage receiving area. We got some aluminum plates, storage as we come around here. So as we come around the corner, you're going to see another FMT. This is a new model FMT. It's a 5x12 one. Newly designed, a little higher speed than the last ones. So this is our bay number 2. This is where we do the assembly for the DMS machines. You can see it's mostly blue down here. Off to the left, that's going to be a 3-axis machine. Heavy duty moving table, 3 axes. This is a 7x5 5-axis machine. Overhead gantry. This is a pretty heavy duty. I know it's heavy duty because of how the hole spacing on the rails. That means those are roller ways on there. So this one will be making patterns all day long. Off to the right here, this is what we call an E5 series machine. It's very limited on what it does. It's not really what it does, but on the models you can get for customization. This is a 10x5 moving table with 36 inches. If we go any bigger than that, then we go to a different style base that's heavier duty. And this next machine over here is the same machine, but only a 5x5 model. So those are about the 2 models that comes in. Now you're also looking at this Sidewall gantry machine. This is you can see a pretty big machine. It's 12 feet by 45 feet long. That's going to have a 8-foot Z-axis on there. Now this is another 3-axis machine off to the right. That is a twin to the one you saw a minute ago. And in the back corner, that's another D3. It's another D3, and in the way back there, those are actually stone cutting machines back in the back there. So this is our primary door right here. You can see we're shipping a machine today. I'll stretch past that. Those 2 blue machines in the back there are slightly nice machines. Very nice machines. One is a pendulum processing machine. So you can see there's a middle door back there, a wall, and you can actually safely go inside that when the head is not in that area right there. So the time chip to chip between parts is about 3 to 4 seconds. Back there's another 12x5, what we call a cage machine back there. So as all of our steel comes through that door, comes over into this area here. So this third bay is pretty much our manufacturing. All of our fabrication actually happens here. So off to the right, that's where all the welding will occur. And as we come around, we'll see our saw cutting station. And right here, it's a little empty right this second, but this is where we do our pre-grinding on our machines before it moves to the machine tools in the back. Off to the right here is a washdown area. Then our paint booth. And this is a very big CNC planer that we're walking up to right now. We can cut up to a 16-foot wide by 32 feet long by 8-foot tall part. Right now we're making a bridge on the machine right there, but normally there's a base that's on there. Off to the right, there's a smaller version of the same thing, another CNC planer. Again, facing off all the critical components. No overdo on that. Back in the back, we have about 10 VMCs, machining centers. Do all the smaller parts back there. As you look up here, you can see everything's on a mezzanine. See our crane system, but everything above there's 20,000 square feet of offices up at the top up there. All of our sales, front office work, engineering, service department, all are located upstairs in this building.
All right, guys, so now you've had an opportunity to see our friends and their facility out in Colorado. Great group of guys and a lot of great colleagues over at DMS that we've had the privilege of working with over the last few months. At this point, I think we're ready to show you guys the two machines that we're going to be bringing into the fold here at SCM. What I'm going to do now is we're going to cue some videos that we've taken out at our technology center here in Duluth, and you'll see some snippets of myself introducing a few features around the machine. After that, we'll come back up here and we'll talk about a little bit more. Hey everybody, this is Mike. I'm standing out on the floor of our technology center at the SCM headquarters in Duluth, Georgia. Sitting here right next to me is a new Freedom Machine Tool Patriot 4x8 CNC machine produced by our colleagues out at DMS in Colorado Springs, Colorado. This particular machine was specifically engineered by DMS at the request of SCM to cater specifically to our woodworking customers. This is one of two different models that SCM will offer, a 4x8 machine like you see here, and a 5x12 foot machine, which will be available as well. So first off, I want to point out the impressive look and feel of these machines. You can see from the frame that we have here, it's a very minimalist and sleek design. Really exemplifies the highest level of American engineering and quality. This machine features a 3/8 inch thick all steel frame welded from top to bottom by DMS at their facility in Colorado Springs, Colorado. The vertical integration that they have out there gives them the ability to pass that savings on to the consumer. When you look at the Freedom Machine Tool Patriot machines, one of the first things you notice is the impressive space-saving design. This particular 4x8 machine takes up less than 12 feet on the long axis and just over 6 feet on the short axis, which means that you can drop it in any shop, big or small, and have plenty of room to work around the product. The Freedom Machine Tool series of machines features an all-phenolic work table cut into a grid pattern, which allows us to spread the vacuum pressure underneath the spoil board, making sure that we get the most vacuum pressure on our parts as we're machining. It also features a gasket stuck into the side of the grid, which means that we can seal the table, again making sure that we get the maximum amount of vacuum pressure possible on our parts. Also included in the table are a series of electronically controlled, pneumatically actuated reference pins, which make sure that we get the highest precision and accuracy as we're placing our parts from program to program. Included on the machine is an X, Y, and Z drive system that's produced by Fagor. We use brushless AC servo motors. The X, Y, and Z are also driven via ball screws. The long axis ball screw is hidden underneath the machine, which allows for that ball screw to stay cleaner for longer. The short axis ball screw, the Y, is also covered, again allowing us to make sure the machine stays clean and operating for longer. The Freedom Machine Tool Patriot machines are going to feature a 10 horsepower Hiteco electro spindle. This particular spindle is designed for ISO 30 tool systems. We're also featuring a 9 spindle vertical drilling unit on the machine. If anybody who's been working in the wood industry for long has been using this technology before, you know that this is an invaluable tool to have in your shop for nesting cabinet parts and other projects as well. Hiteco, the brand that produces these parts, is an SCM owned company. They're actually making these parts just down the street from SCM's headquarters in Rimini, Italy. The integration of these parts into the DMS technologies allows us to control the supply chain, reduce costs, and pass savings on to the consumers. The 4x8 and 5x12 models are going to feature different tool changers. The 4x8 model, as you can see here, features a 8-position fixed tool rack with a very solid steel bracket. This bracket also allows us to perform automatic tool changes as well as tool height measuring cycles. On the far end of the machine, we can see that we've got a tool height sensor that's included on the frame. The design of this tool changer is unique in that it allows us not only to measure the height of the tools loaded into the electro spindle, but also gives us the clearance to measure the drills that are mounted in our Hiteco vertical drilling unit as well. The Patriot features this freestanding console which the operator can use to manipulate the machine. We've got a Fagor 8070 PLC that's included here. This is actually an upgraded PLC from the previous generations of the Patriot. The 8070 gives the operator control of a suite of features that was never available on the previous generations. We've got kind of your typical features, your jogging, your MDI, your automatic program execution, but we've also got a number of features like diagnostics, troubleshooting, remote control support, all of these things that have been added in this newest generation to allow the user the easiest levels of control and allow us to contribute to the servicing and troubleshooting as much as humanly possible. Included on the frame of the FMT Patriot are multiple emergency stop buttons that allow the operator to interrupt the production cycle if he feels that there comes a situation that might be unsafe. Hey everybody, we're back upstairs at the training center. We hope that you've enjoyed the content that we've been able to put together for you so far. What we're going to do now is we're kind of just going to relax and have a little bit of a discussion about the machines themselves, kind of review some of what we've seen already. While we're doing that, for those who wish to participate, at the end of the day here, we're going to have a little bit of a Q&A type session here. So if you want to, you guys can send questions and comments into our marketing department at marketingusa@scmgroup.com. That's marketingusa@scmgroup.com. And then hopefully as we're getting kind of towards the end of the discussion here, we'll be able to maybe answer some of those questions live during the stream here. So now that you guys have seen some of the recorded content that we had for today, I'll first talk a little bit maybe about the relationship between DMS and SCM. The guys were so kind enough already to give you a little bit of a somewhat of a virtual tour of their facilities out there, which is fantastic. But the history here is that DMS was acquired by SCM back in 2018, and they've been a manufacturer of all sorts of CNC products for many, many years. Their founder is still with their company, Patrick Bowler, who's now their acting CTO. Lead engineer, still designing machines, quite some interesting technologies as you were able to see from the virtual tour. They are still going to continue to work somewhat independently and design machines and create custom solutions for their customers. But the FMT was brought about as a kind of mutual product that we can both companies can benefit from. So bringing that product into the fold was really a no-brainer for us. It's a very high quality CNC machine. The technologies and the features cater really well to SCM's customers here, specifically in the wood industry. So we have no problem bringing in this product, and we're actually really, really excited that our customers are going to get to experience this technology. I mean, the FMT really exemplifies what we would most of the time expect from an American manufacturer. Very, very high quality product, and the construction is just fantastic. The vertical integration that DMS has out in Colorado allows them to kind of control the quality at every stage of the project as it's going through production. Making their own frames, welding top to bottom, painting the frames, machining them there, checking the quality at all the stages. It's a great thing to see, and something that we here at SCM do ourselves, and we would expect our partners to do as well. So great to see that, and we're glad that they got to put the video together for our customers to see that as well. Hopefully you guys got a little bit of a feeling of how they operate out there in Colorado. So the FMT machines we think is going to be a great platform for all customers. It's not exclusive to just one group, but it's going to cater really well to those customers who are kind of in the small to mid-size enterprise shops. And even those customers who are entry level, just kind of getting into the CNC space. The FMT machine is a perfect solution for those customers. It's a simple platform. It's very user friendly. A lot of the features are geared towards making it an easy user experience. So we think it's going to fit really well into the SCM portfolio. These machines are easy to install. The first 4x8 machine that you saw in the pre-recorded video arrived here in Duluth last Monday. It took us about a day or so to get it installed and fully up and running, which is about what you would see in a real world installation. The technician will normally be on site for about 2 days to do the installation and also to help the customers with the training, make sure that the operators know how to proficiently and safely use the machine. So really, this FMT machine is designed for those small and entry-level users, and you see that in the way that the interface is built and the controls are built and that the training is conducted. So this particular machine, the Freedom Patriot, or the Freedom Machine Tool Patriot, being that it's kind of designed for this smaller shop and entry-level market, when you look at the market space and you look at the other machines that are in this area, it's a very crowded space, right? Lots of not only domestic CNC manufacturers and vendors, but a lot of vendors coming from abroad as well, SCM included. So there's a lot of machinery in this price range and in this market, and we really think that the FMT does a good job of kind of standing out from the crowd. The features that this machine includes, as well as the quality of the construction and of the engineering, really does stand kind of above many of the others in this marketplace. And we hope that you were able to see that from some of the features that we pointed out downstairs in the Technology Center. I do want to, in addition to those clips, go over some of the features maybe in a little bit more detail and hopefully let everybody understand what this machine is about and the solutions that it can provide to our customers. So when we talk about the two machines, you guys saw the clips about the 4x8 machine. We're also offering a 5-foot by 12-foot bed, is flat table bed machine as well. Both of these machines will feature the flat phenolic machining surface. Both machines will feature multiple independent vacuum zones on the tables. The 4x8 machine will have 4 zones. The 5x12 machine will have 6 zones. And this is a really important feature to see on a flat table machine in this day and age. Most customers who are going to utilize this machine are going to be doing what we call nesting. Cutting multiple parts in a single piece of flat stock wood, or some other, it could be plastic or some other material. But the ability to isolate and control those independent vacuum zones is an invaluable tool on any flat table CNC in the modern era. And both of these machines will feature those technologies. In addition to the flat tables, both machines are going to feature the Hiteco working groups. So we have the 10 horsepower Hiteco electro spindle as well as the 9 spindle drilling unit. The 10 horsepower Hiteco electro spindle is going to give you plenty of power for pretty much any application that you could think of for a CNC at this level. When you're machining typical wood products, for example, a 3/4 inch piece of plywood or something similar, you're really only going to engage about 4 to 5 horsepower out of that motor. So really for something this size and in this price range, it's nice to see a little bit of extra power on this machine. Very typical of American engineering to see a little bit overpowered in the technology. So with the 9 spindle drill head as well, you get kind of an additional level of features that caters really well to woodworking specifically. The 9 spindle Hiteco drill head is going to allow you to insert multiple tools that are going to speed up your production process and allow the operator to interact with the machine as minimally as possible so that he can be off either loading another machine or taking care of other tasks, organizing finished pieces as they come off the machines, and the machine is going to be handling all that stuff, all the operations independently. So the two technologies from Hiteco, the 10 horsepower router as well as the 9 spindle vertical drill head, are really great technologies to have on something in this type of price range. In addition to those, we also have on both machines automatic tool changing systems using the ISO 30 tool systems. On the 4x8 machine, you're going to have a fixed 8-position tool rack, which we saw in some of the videos previously. The 5x12 machine will actually feature a really nice piece of technology, which is a 10-position tool rack, which is mounted underneath the bridge of the machine. So the tool changer will actually travel along the long axis with the machine. What this means is that your tool change cycles can take less than 8 seconds per tool change. Compared to other machines that are on the market in this price range, that's really a feature that's not very common, and it's very impressive to see that DMS was able to get a feature of that caliber on a machine in this price range. When we talk about other features, the FMT will feature, in the 4x8 model, will feature a single 10 horsepower Becker vacuum pump, which again is a lot of power for a 4x8 machine. The 5x12 machine will feature 2 of those 10 horsepower Becker pumps, which is plenty of power for a machine of that size. Both machines again are going to feature the 8070 version of the Fagor PLC system. This system is an upgrade from the previous generations of FMT machines that DMS has produced for a number of years. And this upgraded PLC allows us to have access to a whole suite of features that was not previously available in other generations. One of the probably key points that we get out of upgrading to the 8070 is that with this controller we have the abilities to run it on a Windows operating system front end. This means that SCM and DMS now has access to kind of the Windows operating system and its peripheral features, like the ability to log into the machine remotely. With these Freedom Machine Tool CNCs, both SCM and DMS in a service capacity will be able to log into the machine from anywhere in the world and be able to perform remote troubleshooting. We'll be able to open up the machine's diagnostics, take a look at the health, figure out what may be causing any number of problems, and help the operators diagnose it, and really make a team effort to make sure that our customers are able to get back into their production rhythm as quickly as possible after an issue arises. So really great to see that we've got those upgraded Fagor PLCs in there as well. Other features that I want to highlight on the Freedom machines is the pop-up pins. This is a feature that comes standard in some but not all CNCs in this price range, but is definitely something that we consider a mandatory feature. And when you talk about nesting, or you talk about single panel processing on a CNC, we want to make sure that the operator is able to precisely and accurately place those parts on the table on each program iteration. Not only that, but we want to make sure that the operator can repeatedly place those parts program after program after program. So the pneumatic pins that we see on the FMT machine are actually mounted into the phenolic work table, which means that even as the operator is using and abusing the machine over time, those pins are going to stay in the same position and make sure that we can get that precision and that accuracy that we want out of the machine. The electrical cabinet for this machine, I want to point out, is mounted on the end and is given kind of that low clearance, which means we can clear the gantry or anything like that. But by being mounted on the machine, the space savings is very apparent. As we pointed out in some of the videos down on the Technology Center floor, with the 4x8 machine, we're taking up a space that equates to about 12 feet by 6 feet. So, I mean, really, that's not that much more than, say, a dining room table, and is definitely less than something like a sliding table saw. So it's great to see that we've got a CNC machine with this level of technology, with this many features, that takes up such a small amount of space in the shop. For entry-level users and for CNC operators or small shops who are just getting into the CNC area, this is going to be a technology that's going to be able to be placed in those small shops where otherwise larger technologies kind of cause them to dismiss CNC altogether. So in addition to a lot of these features that we see on the FMT, I want to point out that when we talk about the service of these machines, as we mentioned, we have the remote support that's going to be available. The great thing about bringing this FMT machine kind of into the SCM family is that we will be able to provide service from multiple points just domestically here in the United States. Customers will be able to lean back on the local SCM dealers that will be selling these machines. They'll also be able to lean on the SCM service department, which has provided service here in the United States for decades. They'll also have access to DMS as well. So you've got this very wide and very powerful network of service and parts that will be available to these FMT customers for the foreseeable future. And we think that's important. It's not about just getting the machines in the shop. It's making sure that customers are able to continuously operate on a regular basis without having to worry about excessive downtimes or waiting for parts or at least getting somebody on the phone. So with these FMTs, customers will be able to interact with multiple sources of support to make sure that they are able to stay in a production capacity for longer. On top of that, I do want to point out one more thing about kind of the CNC space in the marketplace and kind of maybe touch on some of the advantages of this machine in this price range. The FMT, with all of the features that it kind of brings to the table, really provides our customers a good entry point for SCM. As a European manufacturer of very high quality products that our customers know and love in the Morbidelli and the Routec range, the FMT fits quite nicely and provides a little bit of a different dynamic than what we typically see on the SCM products. We see the FMT and future versions of it as are in development at DMS as a really good stepping stone and a really good kind of link to SCM for those customers who would not have otherwise been able to interact with us. The FMT and the price range that it's able to be offered in is going to form a really nice bridge for customers who are wanting to work their way into the SCM family, who otherwise would not have been able to do so up until now. The FMT and the way that SCM has requested that DMS kind of change this machine to make way for this new generation, you'll see a lot of features that are very similar in form and fitting to what we have currently on offer in our Morbidelli CNCs. What I mean by that is the way that the X and Y axes are laid out on the machine, the way that the work fields are laid out on the machine, very, very well mirrors what we see on our Morbidelli products. So customers who are interested in getting to know SCM will now have a product that's still branded as a DMS product, but will have kind of the look and feel of some of the higher end SCM CNC machines. On top of that, we have made available at SCM our proprietary programming software, our CAD CAM packages available through the Maestro software, which will be available to customers for use with the FMT machines. So customers who are interested in getting the look and feel of an SCM machine, who can't afford to pay some of the higher prices that you see when a Morbidelli full load and unload cell or a Routec machining center with multiple heads. This product will let customers get kind of the entry level and the small shop feel, but also experience some of the SCM products as well, the software and so forth. So we think this is going to be a great add-on to our CNC portfolio. So what I want to do now is kind of shift gears a little bit. We've talked about the machine, I think, plenty enough for today. We want to talk about pricing a little bit. So as I've mentioned several times in this kind of live stream we're doing this morning, this machine will kind of fit into somewhat of a different price range than what we've typically seen on some of our nesting products for maybe specifically the Morbidellis. So for pricing on this machine, starting today, we're going to be running a promotional period as part of the celebration of this partnership with DMS and the launch of these machines as part of our CNC portfolio at SCM. So we encourage all of our customers to contact their local SCM distributors, and they'll be able to tell you kind of the great deals that we're going to have going on in the next couple of months. If you want, if you're not sure who your local distributor is, you guys can email the same address that I gave out earlier, marketingusa@scmgroup.com. That's marketingusa@scmgroup.com, and we'll be able to connect you with someone who can give you those prices. You can also now visit kind of an e-commerce site that SCM has been operating under for the last couple of years. Up until now, we have a variety of products that have been available online. But the FMT is going to provide us an opportunity to launch the very first one of our CNC products on our e-commerce site. So starting today, customers will be able to visit www.shopscm.us, and you'll be able to see a variety of machines, including these FMT CNC machines. On there, you'll be able to contact us, and we'll set you in contact with a local distributor who will be able to, again, let you know what these sale prices are going to be for the next couple of months. We encourage all the customers, even if you're just interested in gathering some further information, visit the site, send us an email, let us know you're interested. We've got lots of documentation that we can send to you. We'd love to connect with you, show you some pictures, maybe go over in detail some of the technical specifications. But that's www.shopscm.us. Go out there and take a look. We're excited to launch one of our CNC products out there for the first time. And we'd love to hear from you via email as well. So I said at the beginning we would do kind of a little bit of a Q&A. So this is going to be something a little bit interesting for us, something a little bit new that we really haven't done before. So what I'm going to do is we asked you guys to send in some emails, and we've had a couple come in so far. But before I get into the emails, I'm going to start with some questions that we've been asked over the last few weeks as we've been quietly developing this launch program, and we've been releasing the information to our distributors. So the first off, which I just covered, was is there going to be promotional pricing available? Yes, of course, we just talked about it. For the next couple months, we're going to offer promotional pricing for these two different models of the FMT, the 4x8 model and the 5x12. We've got some pretty good discounts going on. These machines are already priced in a range lower than what we would typically see on our Morbidelli products. But for the next couple months, you're going to get even better pricing, and our distributors and sales teams will be able to tell you guys all about those. And they'll be available on the website as well. So the next thing I want to cover is the branding. It came up initially in our discussions, and we want to make sure we're clear that this machine is a DMS product. Now DMS, as of 2018, is now part of the SCM family. But this brand, the DMS brand, is a very important brand here in North America. DMS is known for making very, very high quality CNC products, as well as some other additional products, some metal additive products and things like that. So it's very important that, as we kind of welcome DMS into our family, we make sure that they feel comfortable, and we want folks to know that we're very proud of this partnership and this brand that we've partnered with. So in the spirit of that, this Freedom Machine Tool CNC machine, which was created by our partners out there at DMS, is going to retain its original DMS branding. We want folks to know how proud we are of this machine and the number of great features and the very high level of engineering that is available on this machine. So for now, this machine for sure is going to retain its original DMS branding. And we've done that on purpose, and we want to keep it that way. So I wanted to cover that as well, to make sure that there was no confusion going forward. So another question that I've seen come in the email this looks like it's from John from, I don't see it located, California. So it looks like he's asking about what was the relationship between SCM and DMS. So this must have come in early at the discussion here. So DMS was acquired by SCM back in 2018. It's part of a strategic plan for SCM Italy, who has recognized the importance of the North American market over here. We do a very large amount of business in the woodworking industry in the United States, and in Canada and Mexico as well, where we have subsidiaries, SCM Canada and SCM Mexico. So as part of that kind of recognition of the size and the quality of this market, SCM has decided to show their commitment by bringing in a partner here in the United States. And so our relationship with DMS is that we acquired them in 2018, and we've now brought them into our family, which will hopefully help us continue to provide great products to our customers here in North America, as well as to provide better cost savings and control our supply chain a little bit in the United States. So the next one I want to cover, this is a question that came in a couple minutes ago. This looks like we got Scott here, and I don't see a location. But he's asking about what is the machine cost? So as I said before, this FMT machine is going to fall into a price range that is a little bit under what we would typically see on our Morbidelli products. I highly encourage all of the customers to contact their local SCM registered distributors. We've got over 30 distributors that are spread out across the United States, and a number of internal sales teams here as well to help us manage that network. Highly encourage the customers to go out and seek out your local representatives, or if you don't know who your representative is, please feel free to to contact us here at SCM. You can do Marketing USA at scmgroup.com would be the easiest way to reach out. We're using that as kind of a focal point for this live stream to make sure we can get everybody taken care of. And of course, as I mentioned, you can always go out to our e-commerce site, www.shopscm.us, where you'll see information about these machines. And of course, as I said, we're doing promotional pricing for the next couple months. So any one of those three avenues, you'll be able to track down this great pricing that we're going to be running for the next 60 days or so. Right now I'll get away from emails and I'll jump to a question that was prompted by one of our distributors here a couple weeks ago, which is talking about the service. And he asks, who is going to service these DMS machines? And we talked about it already, but I'll reiterate. The great thing about bringing a machine like this over into the SCM portfolio is that our customers will have access to kind of multiple modes or multiple avenues of service. Of course, the local distributors are always at the beck and call of the customers, and they will continue to do so with these FMT machines. Along with that, you will also have access to SCM's service and parts department right here in Duluth, Georgia, as well as our service and parts out in Carson, California, near LA. And of course, you've got DMS is going to continue to fully support these products as well. So it's really great to see you've got this project or the CNC machine coming over to SCM, and you've got this massive network available to help support the customers. And so we really anticipate being able to provide the very, very highest levels of service and support for these machines. Okay, so we'll jump to another email question. This is a good one. What is the lead time for receiving an FMT machine after purchase? Really a great question. This comes from, it looks like Ann in New Mexico. Okay. So lead times for the FMT. Really great question. So DMS right now is maneuvering things around in their production facility. They're making way for a brand new kind of production area for the FMT machine. They will be kind of making a new line so that they can kind of bump this up into what we consider a very high quantity manufacturing style. So right now, if you were to order the machines today, you're looking at about 7 to 8 weeks for a 4x8 version of the FMT, and you're looking for about 8 to 9 weeks for the 5x12. In the next 2 months, as DMS fully ramps up into their full production scale, those lead times are going to be reduced down to about 4 to 6 weeks for both machines. So for any of those who've experienced SCM before and the CNC products that we produce, you'll know that this is a very impressive lead time. And really, if you've had any experience shopping for CNC before on any capacity, you'll know that this is a really, really impressive lead time to be able to get down to 4 to 6 weeks. So, in addition to the pricing, we've got impressive lead times. We've got access to multiple service departments. So we're really excited to bring this product to our market here in North America. Really, really love that question from Ann there. So another question here, options. Okay. So what options are available on the FMT machines? So at the initial launch stages, starting from today, SCM is going to offer these free-to-machine tool Patriot machines in 2 fixed compositions, and that's the 4x8 and the 5x12 that you've seen in the videos today and that I've been describing here. Going forward, DMS will continue, as I said, to ramp up their production, and in the future we'll start to see a lot of customizable packages being built that we'll be able to offer to the market. As of today's day and age, or today's launch date, customers who are seeking to modify and remove and add features to the machines will be kind of ushered towards DMS directly. Because SCM is serving the wood market and focusing our efforts on the wood market, any customers who are seeking a sort of different application, whether it's in plastics or metalworking or anything like that, will be encouraged to seek out the assistance of DMS directly. And they'll be able to custom build the machines as they always have. The lead times for those, however, could be somewhat different to what we've just described here a moment ago. So keep that in mind. But for sure, DMS is very willing to work with anybody and everybody who's got a specific application or who's desiring to see certain features included on the machine. I've got a couple more emails that have come in here, but I'll do maybe just one more. I don't want to take too much time doing this Q&A today. So the last question that I've got in here today is, how come we did the live stream and how can we see the machines? So, of course, we know in the last couple months in the U.S. and across the globe, we've had a lot of extenuating circumstances going on. We would have loved to have done this event out at our partner's facility in Colorado Springs, Colorado. However, circumstances being what they are, we wanted to make sure that we at least brought you some sort of broadcast today so you can see these machines. Now, of course, we down the road would love to see some sort of open house event, and I know our partners at DMS would love to host our customers in the woodworking industry out at their facility in North America, or in Colorado, excuse me. So yeah, of course, we would love to get an event put together, and we'll try to do that for later on this year, if possible, given the circumstances. And how can you guys see the machines? We have a 4x8 that you guys saw in the previous videos that's currently set up in our technology center here in Duluth. We're happy to host customers who would like to come out and see the machine and see some demonstrations. Currently in the works are a couple of additional machines which will be available for viewing hopefully in our Carson, California facility coming up soon, and eventually we'll try to get a 5x12 machine available for viewing in Duluth as well. As these machines start getting produced and brought out to the market, many of our distributors have volunteered to keep these machines in stock and on hand. And of course, as customers start to purchase these machines, them being willing, we'd like to get customers out for them to view the machines in their shops as well, so that we can show them in a real practical application. So I got a couple more emails here that have come in, but I don't want to take up too much time. We'll cut it there for today. We really appreciate anybody who's been tuning in to this broadcast today. Again, we're sorry we couldn't do some sort of open house event for everybody, but circumstances being what they are, we're at least glad that we were able to bring this broadcast to you today and live stream this for everybody. Again, my name is Mike Doucette, and I'm a product manager in the CNC and Drilling Centers department, along with my colleagues. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I want to also say before I go that I want to say thank you to all the SCM North America staff members, and thank you especially to our new colleagues out at Diversified Machine Systems in Colorado. Thank you so much for helping to put this program together. We really appreciate all your tireless efforts. And we're really, really proud of this machine, and we're very excited to have it as part of the SCM CNC family. With that, thank you, and that's it.